So welcome back, guys. So a few of you have suggested that I possibly honor Silver when her first birthday comes around without her, of memories of her, and I quite liked the idea. And today I figured that would be a perfect time to share some stories about another special dog that was in our lives for a long time, which was our beautiful Kage. You can see him right there. Today is June 27th of 2023, of when this is being recorded, and that was our little fuzzy bear's birthday. It was June 27th. He would have turned 15 today, and it's been about, you know, I guess 2.5 years since we lost him. This September 22nd actually will be exactly 3 years since we had to say goodbye to this beautiful boy. So I figured it's his birthday, so maybe share some cute little stories about Kage. I don't know what I've said in previous videos about Kage or not, about some of his quirks, so I figured to share a couple of stories today about him, just to kind of honor our little Bubby, which was one of his nicknames, was Bubby. Another nickname was Mishur Kage. My husband hated that I called him that. He was also Fuzzy Bear, and probably a ton more nicknames I just can't think of right now. But one story I want to share with you guys. You know, we had friends over and some family for the holidays. I think Kage maybe was around 1 or 2 or something like that. I don't know. He was still very young. And I ended up taking one of my friends with me to the gas station. You know, we left Kage, and of course Silver was here too, with everybody that was here, because they were all playing like PlayStation games or something after dinner. And so there was like, you know, 5-ish plus people left at the house. And when I came back home, they're all playing the, you know, the video game and having a good old time. And I see Kage just standing there at the dining room table, just going to town on this rum cake that my friend had made. And we were only gone maybe like 10 or 15 minutes or something, like it wasn't that long, but all these people in this house, nobody was paying attention to what the dogs were doing. And he had literally ate half of that rum cake. And, you know, I was all like in panic mom mode, like, you know, get down, oh my God, you know. And that boy, after he ate it, just started wobbling all through the house. And, you know, looking back, it was funny and cute. Also, at the time, I was extremely worried because, you know, dogs should not have alcohol. But he looked like he had such the biggest smile on his face. So none of us ate the rum cake because, you know, he put all his wonderful doggy drool over everything. But we always had to watch him after that with any type of alcoholic anything. So that was like, you know, one of our first little holiday memories with Kage. We also always had to watch him around sushi. The one day we had sushi out for lunch, and that boy just sneakily got up on the table and just started going to town on the sushi. Thankfully he was okay from that too, no weird stomach issues. And that was one thing with Kage, he was a very sneaky dog. He was very stealthy and quiet. We always called him a ninja too, you know. He was like our little ninja. He had issues potty training. He liked to pee wherever he chose to pee, and he would always grab stuff somehow off of bookshelves or our desk and would make a pile. And, you know, that pile covered the pee spot, you know, so obviously, you know, oh, you didn't, there's nothing there, Mom, don't you? Like, he always had this attitude of there's nothing on the floor, Mom. That's just stuff I put there, you know, but I know what he was doing. He was trying to cover it up so he wouldn't get in trouble. But yeah, we had a lot of issues potty training him. And I hate saying this, but I think Kage was possibly smarter than the cattle dogs. I know, how dare I say that. His breed is very intelligent. Like, kaikens are very highly intelligent dogs. Like, even crate training that boy, that dog figured out how to use the latches. Like, he actually, we came home one day and he had unlatched like the top part of a crate where it snaps there. He unlatched it, got out, pulled it back up somehow. And he was just sitting next to it like, look what I did. And it's like, oh, okay, this is new. You know, like, I've got a dog who's this smart, all right. And so I ended up, you know, putting some string and tying the crate so he couldn't do that. And that's when he figured out if he just flipped the latch and unhooked it, like he was incredibly smart. He was so excited when we planted the one, like it's a Japanese like flowering kind of tree in the backyard or whatever. But he, as soon as we planted that tree, he constantly watered it, and he constantly sat under it once it got bigger, and sat there and watched the one section of our yard that goes out into an alley, you know, protecting his property. So he was always watching that area, sitting there. And now, Miss Clea, I catch her under that tree, sitting in the same spot as he did, watching the yard. And she goes under that tree a lot. And of course, Clea picked up a lot of traits from Kage, because Kage was Daddy's boy. He was definitely hubby's dog. The first time I actually knew Kage loved me was when I went away for a trip, and how he reacted. And that's not true. There was one time I was watching my friend's dog, and the dog jumped up and tried, you know, paws up playing at me, and Kage actually leaped and tackled him down. It was a Bernese Mountain Dog. So so that was definitely a moment I knew he loved me too. But he was incredibly sweet. He was a very sweet boy. And he was also kind of a jerk. Like anytime we took him to the dog park, he would make sure to seek out the weakest puppy there and hump him and try to dominate him. And he also had to pee on every tree at the dog park. Yeah, that was his thing. He loved to, he was so proud after he marked anything. He also used to put his face on your leg and look up at you for treats. And Clea now does that too. Clea picked up a lot of traits from him and Silver. She's a smart girl too. She's like, oh, that's what gets me things, you know? You know, grooming him was like grooming a husky. It was definitely that kind of floof. He absolutely hated being bathed. I used to have to pry his paws off of the door frame. He would actually latch on with all four legs and pull himself the opposite direction while I was trying to get him into the bathroom. It took a really long time for him to somewhat go into the tub on his own, but he always threw a fit about it. And the poor guy always got picked on when there was loose dogs running at us in the neighborhood. They would always go after him first in my little crew. And because he wasn't a fighter, he didn't want to fight back. He was incredibly sweet. Like, he just was such a beautiful, sweet little soul. Even though he was a jerk about the potty training. So, potty training and trash cans. Like, he was that typical, you know, typical dog stuff, you know, like of being a naughty little boy. But yeah, I really miss him. And I know he's been gone a long time, and I don't think we're ever going to get over his loss completely. I don't think we're going to get over any of their losses. But for some reason, this birthday of his, even though we've had his birthday before without him already, I think with Silver's loss, it's hitting extra hard to today, more than usual. There's like a little dog cookie in my picture frame. Okay. He was technically an anniversary present to my husband. I think it was our first anniversary, actually. But he wanted that dog so bad. And yeah, I couldn't say no after seeing how happy he was with him. Because, you know, I, of course, wanted another cattle dog at the time. So Kage was our little, you know, honorary cattle dog. But I hope I'm lucky enough to have another kaiken someday, because he was very special and had the cutest little barks, kind of like a husky, or maybe not husky. It's more like, I don't know, you know, any kind of Spitz breed. They do that cutesy little rah rah noise, you know. I hope he is having a blast in puppy heaven, you know, having the biggest bowl of rum cake and sushi and whatever else his little heart desires, you know, just sitting there pigging out with his sister and brother, because I'd like to think, you know, my 3 babies are just having a party all the time in puppy heaven. And I hope he's running like crazy through the woods, because he definitely loved being outside and running all the time. He also loved to sneak out of the yard. He was kind of like a husky in that aspect too, like to escape. And there was one time I found him a few blocks over, and I screamed bloody murder out of the car, "Get your butt back home now!" And he just stopped and looked like, "Crap, it's Mom." And he bolted back to the house. I'm really surprised how well he navigated the neighborhood with all the times he left on his own before we finally locked up or blocked all the things, you know, that we were finding where he was getting out of the yard. But yeah, he would basically take himself for a walk and then come home when he wanted to. But oh God, he used to scare the crap out of me, because I always thought he was going to get hit by a car. Thank goodness he wasn't too keen on just going up to any person. Like, yeah, stranger danger, you know, for sure. Oh, and we also used to do this thing with him we called doggy car wash. My best friend started it. He would go in between her legs, like just stand there. So she would start scratching his butt and moving her legs back and forth, and we'd be like, a doggy car wash, and he would just walk through and shimmy his whole body through, and he'd come back around and want to do it again. It was just the cutest little thing. Yeah, okay, now I feel like I'm going to be going on and on and on about other memories popping through my head. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit with you guys about him, because I needed to talk about, you know, my wonderful little baby, my little fuzz bucket. But I'm probably going to go pour myself a drink in his honor. If I have rum, I will probably drink rum in his honor. But if not, you know, Guinness, of course. But thank you guys for listening, as always, to my ongoing grief process, because it's a lot. So but yes, I really appreciate you guys listening. So I hope you all are well, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye. Here, let me help you. Come here, Kage. Come on, baby. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. He got there fast. Shh. Honey, are you okay? Here, come on. Kage. It's alright, sweetheart. We're just gonna make you clean. It's okay. You really busted me back into the door. I know. Wish I would've got that on tape.